Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kevin, otherwise known as Movie Collector Maniac. Today I've got another HamiltonBook.com Blu-ray and 4K haul to share with y'all. I got some really interesting titles this time, and I even picked up a few that Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace mentioned in his own Hamilton Book Pickups video. I will leave a link down in the description of the video, and you can check out his channel if you want to. I'll leave a link to that video. I think he did 2 separate videos over there on his channel. Alright, so I got a few titles in this big box here. Let's see what I picked up. Alright, kicking things off with this movie right here called Aftermath. This stars Arnold Schwarzenegger in one of his more serious, dramatic roles, I guess. This one is based on real events and follows a man dealing with a tragic plane crash. If you're used to seeing an action hero at Arnold, this is going to be a little bit different, but it's worth checking out. I did own this on my digital collection, upgraded to a physical copy. It comes in at 5.7, so that's a pretty decent rating. Anything around a 6 is a really good, decent movie. And I picked that title up for $4.95, less than $5. Added to my Arnold Schwarzenegger collection. Alright, next up is Antebellum. This is a 4K UHD, and haven't seen this movie. This is another one I owned on my digital collection. Never got around to watching it. But it's supposed to be a psychological thriller starring Janelle Monáe. Can't pronounce her last name. Blending modern day horror with a twisted historical mystery. It says it's one of those movies that got mixed reviews, so I guess there's some people like it and some people hate it. But hopefully the visuals in 4K will be worth the experience to watch this movie. It comes in at 5.8, so that's another one around the 6 range. But it's a drama, horror, mystery thriller. And about the only other actor that I know in this movie is Jenna Malone. Let's see, I think I paid $9.99 for this movie. For $9.95, so that's a pretty good deal. Alright, next one I picked up is this Blu-ray triple feature. It's got 3 documentaries in it. The first one is Back in Time. Of course, it's going to be about Back to the Future. So this documentary dives into the cultural impact of the Back to the Future franchise. It's got interviews with cast members and tons of behind-the-scenes insight. Looking forward to checking that out. Back to the Future movies are one of my favorite movies. The whole trilogy, I enjoy the whole trilogy. Of course, I love the first one the best. That's probably the one I've seen the most of. Anyway, the documentary comes in at 6.3 ratings. And let's see, the other documentary on this Blu-ray set is called For the Love of Spock. Are there any Star Trek fans out there? This documentary is about the legendary Leonard Nimoy, directed by his son Adam Nimoy, and offers a touching look at both Spock's legacy and his personal life. And that documentary's actually got a 7.6. That one's a really good rating on that one. Got some of the stars in here from other Star Trek movies doing interviews, I guess. Picked up that whole triple feature set for like $4.95. Alright, speaking of fandom, we got Ghost Heads. This is another documentary. This time about Ghostbusters fan community. If you love the franchise, it's worth watching just to see the dedication and passion these fans bring. So this documentary comes in at a 6.0. Looks like you got a few of the cast members in here. You got William Atherton and Dan Aykroyd. Got Kurt Fuller, Ernie Hudson. Alright, next one I got is Carlito's Way. This is the Arrow Video edition. I did own the previous Steelbook edition, but I decided to go ahead and pick up this box set version. So Carlito's Way came out in 1993. It's got a 7.9 on IMDb. It's considered one of the best crime thrillers of the 90s. Stars Al Pacino. He's a former gangster trying to go straight, of course, and never goes as planned. A solid Brian De Palma film, and I can't wait to check it out in 4K. I never got around to watching my Steelbook version either. I don't know which one of these versions is supposed to be the best. Compare them. Now I got both of them I like the steelbook too, but this box set looks pretty good too. You also have Sean Penn in here, and you got Penelope Ann Miller, you got John Zamo. I can't pronounce that guy's name. Save my life. Luis Guzman. You got James Rebhorn. You got Viggo Mortensen. Picked that one up for $19.95, so that's pretty good for a box Arrow Video 4K set. Alright, here's one that Kenny over at Kenny's Movies Place mentioned in his Hamilton Books pickups. The Death Wish Blu-ray Steelbook. Of course, it's Charles Bronson at his best in this classic vigilante revenge film. Big thanks to Kenny for reminding me about this one. I do own this one on 4K, but I couldn't pass up a Steelbook. I think it was only $4.95, $5.95. Let me check. $5.95. So it's only $5.95 for this Steelbook. Alright, so let's check out what this Death Wish Steelbook looks like. You got the front of the Steelbook and the J card. Alright, so there's the front and the back and the spine of the steelbook. Not a real fancy steelbook. Alright, so there's the inside with the Blu-ray and DVD. Alright, so there's the full inside artwork. Doesn't look like it's much of anything. I'm not sure what that is. Is that supposed to be flames or something? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Definitely could have did a lot better on this steelbook, but I'll probably put my 4K disc in here with the Blu-ray. If not, I'll just leave it separately. I don't know. Yeah, I've recently been watching some Charles Bronson movies I have in my collection. I probably watched about 3 or 4 within the last couple of weeks. You also have Jeff Goldblum in this one playing Freak number 1. But yeah, this is it's got a 6.9. I own all the Death Wish movies in my collection. Got the first 2 on 4K and then the rest in Blu-ray. Alright, this next one I've never heard of. It's called The Great Smoky Roadblock. I guess the original title was The Last of the Cowboys. Came out in 1977. Doesn't have a too great of a rating. It's got a 5.1. I think it might have been a TV movie. Anyway, it stars Henry Fonda as an old trucker that steals his own rig and goes on one last ride. It just sounded like a interesting mix of drama and comedy. On here it says NBC, so I guess it was on NBC. It also has Robert Englund in here. Of course, you know him from playing Freddy Krueger. You also have Susan Sarandon. Picked up that movie for $5.95. Alright, next we got How to Lose Friends and Alienate People on Blu-ray. Comes in at a 6.4 rating on IMDb. It's a Simon Pegg comedy about a struggling journalist who just can't seem to fit in with Hollywood elites. If you like British humor mixed with little Hollywood satire, this one's worth checking out. I think this was another one I owned on my digital collection. Alright, next we have Incredibles 2. This is a 3D Blu-ray. That's really the only reason I picked it up, because I think I do own this one on 4K. I think I got it on from my Disney movie rewards or something on 4K. But yeah, I mainly got it for 3D Blu-ray. Add to my 3D Blu-ray collection. This movie comes in at a 7.5. So yeah, I just had to grab Incredibles 2 in 3D. The first Incredibles is an animated classic, and while this sequel doesn't quite hit the same level as the first one, it's still a fun watch, especially in 3D. Should look really good. Alright, next one I got is The Long and Short and the Tall. I guess it also has an alternate name of Jungle Fighters. Yeah, this is another one that Kenny mentioned over on his video on his channel. This is a British war film about a group of soldiers in the jungle facing a moral dilemma. Haven't seen this one before, but it sounds like a underrated classic. Comes in at a 6.7. Got Richard Harris in this one. I think he's the only one I know of in this movie. And that was $5.95. Alright, I have another title that Kenny also talked about on his video called A Man, a Woman, and a Bank. This one got an IMDb rating of 5.8. It's a heist comedy that came out in 1979 with Donald Sutherland. I honestly haven't heard much about it before. But it looks like it might be a fun, lighthearted crime movie, so I thought I'd check it out. And that was another title I got for $5.95. Alright, next movie I picked up was this movie called Miss Sloane. This one does come with a slipcover, but I believe it's the same artwork underneath. And that movie came out in 2016. It's got a 7.5 rating. Another one that Kenny mentioned on his video stars Jessica Chastain. She plays a ruthless lobbyist in Washington, from what the description reads. But you also have John Lithgow in this movie as well. Yeah, Mark Strong. Looks like about it. And it was only $4.95 over there on HamiltonBook.com. Alright, this next movie I picked up was called The Night of the Grizzly. Came out in 1966. It's got a 6.5 rating. It's a Western thriller adventure movie about a family dealing with a dangerous grizzly bear. But you know how I like Westerns, so I had to pick it up. I did own this on DVD, but I think this is another one I never got around to watching, but it should look a lot better on Blu-ray. It stars Clint Walker as the main character. I'm not really familiar with his filmography. It does have Jack Elam, plays in a lot of Western movies. That one was on a little bit of the high end. It was $12.95 for the Blu-ray. Alright, this one's a little bit more recent romantic comedy called Plus One. Came out in 2019. And it's got a 6.6 rating. Follows two longtime friends who agree to be each other's wedding dates. So you got Jack Quaid in here, Dennis Quaid's son. Also know him from The Boys TV show on Amazon Prime. You got Ed Begley Jr. in here. And that one was only $3.95. Alright, next we have a classic John Wayne Western from 1938. Got a 5.6 rating on IMDb. If you're in the old school Westerns, you can't go wrong with a John Wayne movie, especially a John Wayne Western. I did own this one on my digital collection, but I never got around to owning a DVD or Blu-ray. This one's from Olive Films. I'm not even sure if they're around anymore. That one was $9.95, but it was still a great deal compared to Amazon and some other places. Alright, next title I got is called Red Rock West on Blu-ray. I believe this was one you could get off of Vinegar Syndrome. It's one of those. It's not by Vinegar Syndrome. I guess it's by Cinematography. I guess that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, that movie came out in 1993. Supposed to be some kind of neo-noir thriller, crime drama. It's got a 7.0. I mean, the main reason I got it is because it's a Nicolas Cage movie. So it's going in my Nicolas Cage collection. You also have J.T. Walsh. Of course, you know him from the movie Breakdown with Kurt Russell. You got Laura Flynn Boyle and Dennis Hopper's in this movie. You also have Dwight Yoakam, the country singer / actor, plays a truck driver. This was the highest price one that I purchased. It was $24.95. I think it's still cheaper than what they have it on Vinegar Syndrome. I think they go, it's like 26 something over there. Alright, next movie I got is called Running with Scissors on Blu-ray. This one came out in 2006. Got a 6.1 rating. Supposed to be a dark comedy drama based on Augustin Burroughs' memoir. It says it's one of those weird offbeat films with a unique tone. I think I did own this one on DVD, but it might have been one of those titles I bought just to do disc to digital when Voodoo had a disc to digital program, so I can put it on my digital account for like a couple bucks. I think that was the only reason I bought it. I probably only paid like $2 for a DVD somewhere. Anyway, it's supposed to be a comedy drama. You got Annette Bening, Brian Cox, Joseph Fiennes, Evan Rachel Wood, Alec Baldwin, Gwyneth Paltrow. You got Gabrielle Union, Patrick Wilson, Kristen Chenoweth. Got some well-known actors in here. It was only $4.95, so it wasn't too bad a deal. Alright, I found another 3D Blu-ray to pick up called The Secret Life of Pets. This movie came out in 2016. It's got a 6.5 rating. I think this is another one that I owned on 4K, but I decided to get the 3D. I guess Louis C.K. plays or voices the character Mac. You also got Kevin Hart, Albert Brooks, Dana Carvey. Let's see, Steve Coogan, and that 3D was only $4.95. Not a bad deal. Alright, next we have Wedding Days, a lesser known romantic comedy starring Jason Biggs. I think it has an alternate title as Pleasure of Your Company. But yeah, it came out in 2006. It's got a 5.6 rating on IMDb. This is one I owned on DVD also. but it's been a long time since I watched it, probably 10 or 15 years or so. Alright, so you have Isla Fisher in here playing Katie. You got Joe Pantoliano. You got Rob Corddry, Jay Sanders, and that was another one that was only $4.95. Alright, so that's my latest HamiltonBook.com haul. Big thanks again to Kenny over at Kenny's Movie Palace for mentioning some of these titles to me in his video. Be sure to check out his channel. Like I said, I'll leave a link to his channel over in the description of this video. Let me know in the comments if you picked up any of these, or if you think you might pick up some of these. They probably still got them over at HamiltonBook.com. If you got any more recommendations that they have on HamiltonBook.com, be glad to listen to them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more videos from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.